Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Cool, we're good. All right. Well, today we're talking about something much more exciting than a spreadsheet. I'm really excited about CRMs and what they can do for your business. So today, that's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about how to expand your business with a CRM. If anybody watches my YouTube channel, they know that I am a Service Autopilot fan, but that doesn't mean that this only pertains to that, because there are a ton of good tools out there you can use that aren't Service Autopilot. The biggest overarching part of this conversation is I think that all these different topics we're going to go over, whatever you pick, I would try to make sure it's doing a lot of these and it's at least doing them well. Some of the biggest ones that I see that I'm most familiar with is Jobber, Real Green, Service Autopilot. Hear a ton about Yardbook because it's very cost effective, LMN, and then there's still a lot of other options out there. So like I said, a lot of these, we'll do a lot of these different pieces. Probably the biggest point that I try to stress to people is make sure what you're using is doing as many of these as it can do and do them well. Because if not, you start finding yourself piecing together multiple systems to try to make the whole pie. And that's, if you're wanting to be budget friendly, that's not necessarily bad. Just for instance, if you have a CRM that doesn't really do great email marketing, well, you can combine it with MailChimp and then do both with that. Or if it doesn't do great surveys, you can combine it with SurveyMonkey. But now you've got three different potential pieces instead of one. So there's ways to piece it together, but it's really, really easy when you've got one that'll do everything. And I keep saying CRM over and over again. And just in case someone doesn't know what that means, because there was a time where I had no idea what that was, and that's Client Relationship Manager. This is probably something that we've leveraged to change our business the most and get all of the work that we do, office workflow, delegated to the correct people in our company. And it's, to me, it's so crucial to pick one that you really, really like, that's going to work well, even from the beginning, so you can use that and grow your business. And in the future, you don't have to make a major change once you got 1,000 clients or 2,000 clients trying to change over to something new. So we're going to start off talking about CRM. One of the biggest things about it, it is only as good as the information you put in it. A CRM that gets, you kind of piece some things together. You don't quite put all the phone numbers or all the emails or not all the different touch points or conversations in it, doesn't really produce as well and doesn't track as well as something that gets everything. I picture it like the big box of goodies. Like it's all the little goodies for your entire business that you get to store and use these when you need them. So collecting all this contact information is huge. And I'm going to kind of dig into this and why, and some of the points that are the biggest for us. Because when we look at this, we just purchased a business that used a CRM, and I would say they did an all okay job, but it was lacking on things like phone numbers and emails on certain people. And it just shows how they didn't really leverage their CRM to grow their business. So the information that you're really is a must have, that you've got to have when you're using one of these, is a cell phone. All phone numbers are important, but the cell phone is the king. You can text it. The communication tool is so much better. Most of these CRMs now, you can do texting inside of them. And when you can't get someone to follow up with you via email and call, almost everyone answers a text. Next important thing is email. This is huge for us. We do tons and tons of email marketing, tons and tons of email updates, email education for our clients. And it's such a great tool to continuously be sending more information to your clients. Then there's obviously, you're going to want their location. You're going to want their source. This is huge. How did someone hear about you? I'm going to show you our source report so you can kind of see what Service Autopilot does. I know that all of the CRMs do this. I'm assuming, and why that source is so important. So was it what marketing was it? Was it they saw your company truck? Did they get a door hanger? Was it a postcard? Was it your website? How did you hear about us today is how we get that piece of information. And then here's some of the interesting things that if you're taking it next level is the little tiny extras. If you're talking to the husband, what's the wife's name? If you're asking and you're talking about things, what's your birthday? Gate codes, so you know ahead of time, so you're prepared. Dog names, pet names, so you know every little thing, and you're being as relatable to the client as possible. Because when I go back to that example of someone leveraging their CRM versus not leveraging their CRM to grow their business, when company that I said might not even had all the phone numbers and emails versus a company that when you call and you can ask about, hey, how's your dog, whatever the dog's name, doing, or you send them a birthday card when there's a birthday. It's really easy to see who sticks out, who looks like, man, this company. And it's not just looks like you care about them. If you take them the time to do it, you care about them. So you're just making such a great impression, and you're being a standout company by doing those things and just remembering these little notes in the system. So the easiest thing, even when you start out, when I first started, I started making a list of the things I needed to ask for every time so I wouldn't mess it up. And that kind of changed into a list that built for the company. So a list that everyone taking calls needs to use, so they check off and make sure they get their information. So they get the exact same thing, and you've got consistent results every time. I'm going to show you some of where our CRM and our source report's been failed because we use a call system. And I'll show you where if we always had this perfect, if this was getting tracked a little bit better, our reports would be even better than they already are. But getting those consistent results are huge. Kind of going down from that, ensuring you receive a source. That's probably the holy grail of this. And I see a lot of companies that don't even know how the people calling them hear about them. And in making sure you know this source is something that allows you to leverage growing your business so much faster, because it allows you to market more effectively. Everyone starts off and it's very uncomfortable to start marketing and to start spending more and more money in marketing, because you don't know what are the results going to be. Am I just testing, or am I going to get a good return on these things? And pulling those sources from every call allows you to learn and test marketing. I have a source listing right here for our spring Every Door Direct. I'm not a huge Every Door Direct fan, but when we do it, we test it. So then we can see, did it perform well? That way we know, first of all, do we just never have good luck with them? Or second of all, was it bad copy? Was it bad timing? And it allows us to test, see what's best, and market most efficiently by looking at where our calls are coming from and spending more money on the things that are winning. And then the probably the holy grail of using this is when you really, really want to crank up your sales, you can look at your all-star sources, top 3 to top 5 sources, and you can double down on those. For us, that's Facebook, that is our wrapped vehicles and any lettering on our vehicles, that's Google AdWords, and that's for sure our website. I would put client referrals on this, but that's kind of a whole separate thing for us. That's a client referral package. It's something we're always pushing. But those other paid for marketing forms are, if we want to speed up sales, we always do everything. But if we really want to speed them up, we focus on the top 4 and we double down on spending on those, because they produce the best, they produce the most leads, and they have the most acceptable closing rate. And that's what that report will show you. You know what? I will share the screen as we're going over this right now, so we can actually look at that closing report. Okay, report center, screen 2, here we go. We are loading. Can I get a thumbs up if you can see this report and it's coming in fairly clear? Cool. I just pulled up last year. You're going to see me kind of looking off the side. It's on a different screen. I pulled up our 2020 sales report. This is our source report out of Service Autopilot. Like I said, all CRMs, they should have something like this. If they don't have something like this, you need to make an Excel sheet and track it. This is a gold mine in your business. So what I see here is, obviously at the top, we get our overall numbers. We see our conversion rate. Our conversion rate always hovers. You can't look at this number right here. This is where we bought the business here, this 82 or 88%. But our conversion rate always hovers in between probably the low 30s to the maybe mid 30s to high 30s. And we've always felt like that's a really, really good number where we're not closing so much work that we feel like we're underpriced, but we're not closing so little work that we feel like we're overpriced. So here's where I'm showing as this report goes. For instance, customer referral. I can see that this is a really, really hot line for us. We get 118 of these over the course of last year, and your customer referrals are always a gold mine. So anything you can do to incentivize this, we have a customer referral program where people get gift cards, and we always have welcome packets that incentivize clients to do this. But when you have a referral, you've already built trust from someone that they trust saying your name. And that's why there's a 55% close rate on that. So that is always an awesome thing, but it's really hard to speed that up. You can't just step on the gas and spend money for that to speed up. Now, when you look at Facebook, this is one that we do a lot of, and you can definitely spend money on this and get this to speed up. It fluctuates anywhere from the high 20s to almost up to the high 30s, maybe low 40s, depending on what part of the year it is. So that's one of our favorite ones. We love Facebook. We love Google AdWords. That's another heavy producer for us. It's very hard to differentiate between Google AdWords and your website. So it's kind of a blended total. I told you I'd be very transparent with you and show you where we dropped the ball and failed. We have a calling system now. And this is probably my biggest pet peeve ever right here. Unknown. Obviously, there's not much of a closing rate on unknown. It says 4.85%, but that information is totally useless and it aggravates me to the hill. So that's what you want to try to stay away from. You want to try to make sure every person gets allocated correctly. But so we're working on that for this year. But now you can also see the website is a huge producer and it has a really, really good closing rate. I skipped right past company vehicle too. We only have 3 or 4 vehicles that are wrapped, but everything is lettered. So right here, I know that if I was to wrap every vehicle, I close a lot off that. People, it's almost like mobile yard signs because people see you out doing the work. They love what you're doing. And then they accept based off that and they call you. So these reports inside your CRM will really allow you to market effectively, double down on what you're doing and speed up your business growth instead of wandering around and not being quite sure what is your best marketing form. So your source report is huge. If you don't have it, like I said, an Excel sheet will do the same thing, build out something, get rolling on a source. So I'm going to scroll down my line here. And so that's what we really, really do to leverage our marketing. And marketing is definitely one of the fastest ways to grow your business. Now we get into a free way that only costs your time inside of your CRM. So depending on how great of an email build out your CRM uses or your CRM has, Service Autopilot has something pretty comparable to MailChimp inside of it. So it is a really nice HTML email builder. So you can make really, really clean, presentable emails. And email marketing is huge. I need to almost look at the report for what we've sent so far this week. So far this week, we've sent 4,000 emails. And last week we've sent, it looks like we sent 9,000. And we just use email marketing almost more than anything to continue upselling and to continue educating. And this is why it's so crucial that you're getting this information, that you're getting an email from every client, because almost everyone, 99% of people have one. And if they're uncomfortable with it, you can notify them that I need it for notifications. It's how we notify all of our clients of our services and things like this, because once you start getting a lot of clients, it becomes impossible to call all of them to notify them of service. You know, we are right now, I think we'll mow 100 yards a day. So if we have a rain delay, we can't call 100 people. It's impossible. So that leverages your time. Any time you save, every time I go over a time saving point here, it's allowing you to have more time to go out and grow your business. So build your email list. Now, a tip that I should have put at the very, very top of this that I'm going to hit on is, even if they don't need, or even if what they're looking for is not a service you offer. This is a gold mine tip right here, that if someone calls you and they are asking for a service you don't do, you've never done, you won't do, the most important thing is, before you tell them you don't do it, before you give them a referral, is you still get all of their information just like any other client, and you put it in your system. Because even though they don't use your service today, when you email them in the future for upsells, when you call on them in the future for upsells, you're still building your list of people to market to. You paid for that lead, and you need to collect that lead and put it in your system. And then you're doing tenfold. It's our standard procedure that we collect all of your information, and then we connect you with the best provider that is most reputable in our area to make sure you're serviced. So they win, we win, and they get taken care of. So that's a huge thing that that we always really push. No matter what, you get the information for a client, whether or not you're going to actually be able to service them today. Now, there's a really good selling to value building ratio, because you can't just make all of your emails about, please buy my stuff, please buy my stuff, please buy my stuff. You will have everyone unsubscribe. You will turn into more of a spam machine, and it'll just start to frustrate people, because no one's going to open your emails if they know every time I click on it, it's just a sale for me wanting to get another service or more money or this or that. So selling emails are great. Structuring them correctly and making them short, to the point, and easy to do a little click, put in a form, ask for more service. But value building emails are huge. And the ratio I talked about is 3 value building emails to every sales email. So build value, build value, build value, sell. Continue along that process, because now we've added more value to everyone, whether that be we've given them information about local events that they might need to know about. We've told them about some way to help their yard without them spending money. We've gave them a helpful tip. We've done some kind of information that they could use to better themselves, better their yard, better some kind of service we're doing. And then we go out and we ask for the sell. We go out and tell them about the next thing we're doing, that if you need our services, we would like to help you out on. So 3 value building emails, and then asking for the sale will make sure your email rate, your open rate stays much higher. You get much less unsubscribes, and overall you sell more. And here again, you're doing this all through your CRM. You are not spending anything but your time to craft the email, and you're hitting send, and you are growing your business. Me and Jessica were lightly talking about this right as we started off. The next one I'm going to hit on is automations. This is a big one. Don't know what all CRMs have this built in. There are a ton of automation platforms. The biggest one before Service Autopilot started really getting heavy into automations that I was looking into was Infusionsoft. So that's another party program that if you wanted to get into automations, you could use. But so when it's all in your system, here again, you've got the whole thing all built together, and you can use it more effectively. So automations expedite repetitive tasks. They make repetitive tasks easier and faster, and they make it where you don't have to spend all of your time doing them. So for example, a perfect automation that we've had, that we used, something that we have done, is auto text follow-ups and emails. My goal is to get, if you don't have this problem yet, that everyone in this starts having this problem, is in spring, you've got so many calls that you can't answer them all. And you also can't get all your estimates done. And so I know if you can't do all this, you have the same problem we have, is we want to call everybody back and follow up every time, but we know we dropped the ball on that. So now we've implemented, to make sure we're reaching out, make sure we're touching on each and every one of these, is automatic text follow-ups and automatic emails on a timed out sequence. And we've seen from the text, they even say in the bottom of them that this is an auto-generated automation or automatic text. If you've already heard from us, disregard. But the amount of responses, the amount of contact we get back, it's amazing. Once we started using text inside of our system or sending video text for follow-up over a phone, I mean, the amount of response you get via email or compared to email or a phone call is astonishing. So that's something we did to make sure we're following up, even if we failed at following up at some form. And then the next one that we really took advantage of, this is the one I had someone else build out for us. This person, it's Mike Callahan with Simple Growth. He's going to come on board. He's probably going to give a discount to everyone that's involved with GrowCom. I believe that's the plan. And he's going to do some of the platinum trainings in the future. He's very, very big on automations and growing your business and making things as simple as possible. But what they built for us was an automated job scheduling email system. And really what happened is there was a big hole in our bucket for scheduling project work. And this was kind of making us look bad. And anytime you're looking bad, it's slowing down your business growth, because basically we would get a project, we would win it, and we would take a $2,000, a $5,000, a $10,000 down payment. And we had so many projects that you might not hear from us for 2 weeks. And nobody likes that. People want constant contact. They want to know what's going on. So I had the idea of building this. I tried to build it on my own. I wasted some of my own time. That's where I figured out outsourcing it to people who get it done quick and really know what they're doing pays tenfold. But you can definitely do all the stuff on your own. And this automation for us, every Friday, it has an automated email that goes out at 3 p.m. So if you're on our waiting list, it says, hey, you're on our waiting list. We haven't forgot about you. As soon as we get you scheduled, we will let you know via email. And then if they are scheduled, it sends them their tentative date. And then the third part of this is every single day of the week, if something gets scheduled and goes in the schedule queue at 3 o'clock that day, it lets everybody know they got scheduled that day, they were scheduled. So we plugged a hole in our bucket, because a leaking bucket, a business that's kind of bleeding, doesn't grow as fast. So any of these little things that automations can fix for you, that can take care of for you, that can help you do and stay consistent with, will help you grow your business faster. After automation's another super exciting thing. Like I could talk about CRMs forever, because that's really what's grown our business tenfold. It's been one of the biggest things for us by far, and that is rate matrix estimating. Whether that be, it doesn't have to necessarily be a rate matrix if your system doesn't have that, but some systems have templates. Service Autopilot, we use a mix of both. But anything where you don't have to every time figure your numbers, go in there, estimate the material, estimate this, anything where you can do to expedite the estimate, make it faster. The rate matrices are great for maintenance. It allows you to measure properties on GPS and give an estimate over the phone. The templates are great for plugging in all your products and plugging in all your service lines and having a huge $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 estimate built out in a matter of a half an hour. I had to make a change order the other day. Luckily, we have a paver template and we have a wall template. I made a change order. I had to leave for an appointment by 8. I got into the shop. I had to do a review. And basically, in 40 minutes time, I put together a $34,000 project. And I know that it was consistent with all our other estimates, because it's the way we do them all, and we always monitor and correct as we go. So templates and rate matrices will allow you to grow even faster, because all of this stuff is going around the whole theory that people want information faster. They want an estimate as fast as possible. If it takes one company a week and it takes you 2 days, most clients won't wait the week. They'll accept because they actually want to get it done. So that's another point that's going to help you grow your business so much faster. Next, after this goes down, and here's a point I'm going to get into where Service Autopilot actually really drops the ball and is weak here. And that is not all job costing, but so job costing is a huge part of a CRM, but project job costing to me is where Service Autopilot's weak, where I believe a product like LMN would be really, really strong. I know a lot of people use LMN with Service Autopilot. So, but job costing is huge because we're talking about how to expand your business, how to grow your business with a CRM, the different pieces. And this is so big because now you can actively look over reports and see your hourly rates, make sure live that you are hitting the numbers. That I did the homework from last week. I did the boring Excel sheet to create my hourly rate so I'd know what I need to charge. And now I know I've got the boring part out of the way. Now I get to watch the exciting part and make sure I'm making a profit. And that is big because when you're growing a business, you will bleed a business dry by growing a cancerous money loss. You know, if it isn't making a healthy profit, that is the fuel to grow your business. That is the gas to pour on the fire for marketing. That is the fuel to solve problems. That is the thing that keeps you from looking around and being like, where is all the money in the bank account? I swear we did a bunch of work, but it feels like there's just nothing left. So job costing is a huge part. That is one of our favorite parts, especially Service Autopilot works amazing for service job costing. It is weaker on project job costing. And then some of these final little points I'm going to hit on are mainly just time sensitive. Like I said, anything that saves you time allows you to grow your business faster because you're not doing repetitive tasks that aren't really making you any more money. You're able to go focus on marketing and sales and the things and team building, the things that grow your business. So something as simple as tags and grouping. All CRMs have a ways to tag different clients, to group different clients. So when you're sending out emails, you can be more effective. I don't want to send a marketing email to sell new fertilizer contracts to 700 people that already have service with us. I want to send it to the 700 people that don't have that fertilizer. And then, so I'll group them and tag them off separately, but then I'll group out and tag the fertilizer customers and we'll sell them something else. So it makes everything you're doing more effective with tags and grouping. And then, like I said, so that saves you time. And some of the other huge time savers to wrap this up are efficient dispatch board routing. These are huge. You need to be able, I think that was the biggest point of why we switched away from Jobber and went to where we are now. It could be totally different now. I don't know. So I'm not knocking on them. I'm sure they got a great product. But routing was a pain point. We had too many jobs getting rescheduled and it was too hard to move them around. And all that time kept us away from doing important things. So it needs to be able to schedule a lot of work, especially if you want to grow a big business really fast with a lot of different moving parts with employees and trucks and things like that, and also route it efficiently. So if you need to reroute, change the route, take some work, put it on another team so teams can get done together and it's efficient. That needs to be a possibility and it needs to be efficient. Also invoicing, another big pain point. I've seen stuff where you have to manually invoice. I've heard companies talking about manually invoicing and I don't even understand that. So anything invoicing, be looking for an automated, generates on a weekly, a daily, a monthly, however you want to set it up. But something where all you have to do is go through and look over it, make sure it's ready to charge. And that's the final piece of this. Is the other thing that saves a ton of time where you're not having to chase down money is cards on file for everyone. It was a huge change to our business. It was super, super scary when we only had 50 Mo customers and I thought I was going to lose them all. And I was sitting in my little first house thinking that everybody was going to leave me when I switched to cards because nobody would trust us with a card because I'm just a one-man band running a Mo company. And it didn't. It solved cash flow issues. It made us have more money readily available. And that all stems from, I heard Jonathan Pachochius saying that I think it was something like a $1.2 million business. If you're going to collect at the end of the month, you need 120 grand sitting in the bank account to float you through the times while you're waiting for money. And those big numbers just scare me to death when I know we could just bring all the money in when we do the work, bring in the money, move on to the next work. It's already hard enough to produce the work and to make sure everyone's happy. Don't make it where you're always chasing money. So that's everything. That's going over all the ways we leverage this to save us time. I'm going to make sure everybody unmute. If you got questions, this is something I love going over all kinds of stuff on CRMs, and I'm open to all of them. I'm open
Turn
to
your stuff down.
any different thing that you use. But this is really how I went from being in the business 24/7 to being able to delegate the different things that are going on. I need a drink of water after all that talking. I got excited about the CRMs.
So I have a question. You were talking about the rate matrix estimating.
Yes.
Like kind of in Service Autopilot. So like I have our own mowing matrix. I made it myself. So Service Autopilot have it easier. Like I can put it in there, and like I've never figured out how to use products on Service Autopilot. I don't have any products in there. So like I can do that to make it easier for my office. Basically, how we do it is the estimator goes out, makes the notes, tells the office like what materials needed, you know, what's going to be done, and then the office kind of puts it together real fast. So in the product section, I can add in all our products. So all they do is click on it, and it's easy.
Yeah. So yeah, here I'll share my screen. We'll look at something here. Try to pull up a client first, so it's not, or maybe I can get a test account. It seems like every time I'm on Zoom, my computer goes super slow. So let's see here. Test account. And like I said, I'm not trying to be Mr. Service Autopilot salesman, because I know for other people that are starting out and other people that are using different things, I know there's other products that will work really well for this. But this is just the one I know. So we're loading up right now. Here we go. Share my screen. I'll show you what we do real quick and give you an idea. Now, the thing with products that I don't per se love is that we create an estimate with products, but we never schedule. When we do that, we don't schedule out of the estimate anymore. We just create the service separately, because the products don't flow through the estimate that well into a job. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically in Service Autopilot, if you use products and you schedule out of the estimate, it becomes a nightmare then, because then when you complete the job, you have to verify you used every product, and it's just a lot of work. So it makes it really fast to schedule, but it makes it really fast to estimate, but it makes it really painful if you actually use it to schedule. So we're loading. Can everybody see this all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll show you, like right here, paver installation. And it's going to load this whole template down here. And so I have products. So I know that this is what we charge the client, $54.48 for a ton of CA7, and it cost us this. And our markup's around 20%. And any materials I need to go add. It's okay.
He can hear you. He can hear you. He can hear you. Just wait till I'm done.
It's okay, no worries. I'm used to all the kids. But any product I want to add, I can just quickly search. So there's no homework, there's no rough calculating. It's all right here. You know, I know that if I want to add layers, if I need 3 layers of Beacon Hill, that's not the right price on Beacon Hill either, but it auto calculates Beacon Hill ready to go. That's what I need to charge for however many square foot. If I want to add in some kind of, you know, like, I don't think it's on here, but we've got everything in here, and it allows you to use an Excel sheet. We've got all 800 or 900 plants from the nursery in here. If I want to add glue to this is what a 28-ounce tube of glue is. I need 3 tubes of glue. So everything's spot on the money. And
okay, does the customer see that much of a breakdown in their estimate, or is it more just like paper installation, this is what it is? Okay.
You don't see anything on the estimate. All you see is the first line.
Okay,
now,
perfect.
You schedule out of here. If you know, when you win an estimate on Service Autopilot, it says schedule out of the estimate.
Yes,
you just can't do that. You use
okay.
Having 2 screens is the way to go. Have an estimate pulled up on one, and then have the client page on the other, and then go schedule a waiting list job based off of this, and just input your number. But now with this, if you want to pull a work order out of it, you can make a work order for material ordering and all kinds of stuff. And this is what got us away from having all the issues in materials and landscaping, because all the information was right there on what needed to be ordered. And they just they take this straight to the yard and they say, anything we can pull out of our yard, and the rest they just called a company to deliver.
Awesome.
We also have these individual service lines broke down for like industry standard times. So I go in like this paver excavation. I say it's a 280 square foot patio, base installation, 280 square foot patio. These are basically, and we change these as we learn these are wrong or right, and get them closer to, we shift it always. So this is the budgeted hours that a 280 square foot patio takes. And basically it allows us to put together a really quick estimate that has budgeted hours for everything and all the correct material.
Is the template something you bought through Service Autopilot or you created yourself?
I just made it myself.
Okay.
I was able to find somewhere, and I mean, I can pass a screenshot of this along. You can make a template really easy.
Okay.
I was able to find from somewhere, I'm having a brain fart right now. I was able to find from somewhere like standard times on all of the stuff that said we're industry. I don't know that they were all perfect because we are way slower at screeding. So then we go in and we change that number. As we learn something's not right for our team, we tweak it to be right. So yeah, that's the high speed way that we do those. It's really been game changer this year. And Service Autopilot's really leveraged that for us.
That's awesome. We'll definitely be working on that then over the next couple of weeks because I don't have any products in, and right now like I have a Word document that has all our products. I basically did it on my own, like a Word document, spreadsheets for everything they need, so they have quick, but like they can look it up quick, but we still have to input everything.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it popped up for them and it'd make it so much faster.
Yeah. The only thing that I don't look forward to is when you have to change the pricing. I feel like it'd be easier to almost deactivate everything and then re-upload a new sheet, because if you had to individually go through the products, that would be a nightmare. Because it only took like 5 minutes to upload 900 plants. But if you've got to individually go through them, it would take hours and hours and hours. So anything else with a CRM you've got questions on? Okay, well, if everyone doesn't have any more questions, that's fine. If you do come up with something and you got a question, leave it in GrowCom. I plan to be going live sometime over this weekend. If more thoughts come up from seeing this video, especially for the people who weren't able to make it or weren't able to stay the whole time, this is a really, really powerful tool. This whole group is about helping others grow, make their businesses better, get out of working in their business. I mean, how exciting was, Jessica, you made the comment in there that that was one of the most exciting things for you, is working your way out of the business. These wins in business are what excite all of us to go farther and to keep pushing and to make our lives and businesses and everything for our family better. So ask any questions. I'd be more than happy to hop on there and see what else we could come up with to help everyone and help the group as a whole. If there is nothing else, everyone have an awesome weekend.
Yeah.
See you guys.